NBA awards winner prediction. As the season is coming to an end, I figure now is a good time to give my NBA awards prediction. So first we'll go to MVP, and I think that is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I personally had Shai winning the award last year. That was my opinion, but Jokic obviously is never a bad choice. But this year, I think he definitely has it locked up, and I say Shai wins the MVP. Rookie of the Year, I'm going Stephon Castle. Now, Rookie of the Year has been a really interesting season, to say the least. Basically, every month, it has been a new player, or maybe even every couple weeks, a new player being nominated as the top candidate for Rookie of the Year because there have been injuries and just so many things that have happened. Like Jared McCain was the front runner to win Rookie of the Year early on, and then he got hurt. And so there's been a lot of that happening. And so Rookie of the Year has been so up and down. But I do think at this point it is going to Stephon Castle, and it is well deserved because Stephon Castle is having a great season. I'm just saying, the Rookie of the Year, candidacy has been crazy, but shout out to Stephon Castle. I think he wins. Now let's go to Sixth Man of the Year. I am someone who, I've been on the record, I did not expect Peyton Pritchard to play the way that he's playing this season. I just didn't see it. I wasn't obviously questioning his work ethic or anything like that. I was just saying, I don't know if he's ready to make this jump, and he has surprised me this year for sure. So I definitely agree, he is one of the top candidates. It's going to sound like I'm a hater, but I promise I'm not. I really think the award should go to DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter is having an incredible season. Am I biased because I've been a huge fan of DeAndre Hunter for a while? I don't think so in this case. I think I've been rooting for him for a while, and that's fair. If you watch my page, you know that. But you can't deny what DeAndre Hunter has been doing this season. He's averaging, I think, like 18 points per game, shooting almost like 50% from three. Okay, I exaggerated. I just looked at his stats. He's shooting 43% since he's been on the Cavs, which is still great. There was a point, though, where he was shooting like 50% from three with the Cavs. Regardless, I personally feel like DeAndre Hunter should win it. But I also do think, again, I'm not a hater. I do think Peyton Pritchard deserves, votes. And I think he is the favorite to win it. And I think he is going to win it. I just personally would vote for DeAndre Hunter. But I don't think it's wrong to vote for Peyton Pritchard. I think he definitely deserves it as well. That's the thing. A lot of these awards usually have more than one person who deserves the award, because Jokic is having an incredible season too, and there are plenty of people out there arguing for him to win the MVP again. So that's what I'm saying, there are usually more than one deserving candidates. I'm just telling you who I think is going to win and who I would personally vote for to win. Now we go to Most Improved, which is a very interesting race. I think it's between Dyson Daniels and Cade Cunningham. The issue with this is that I personally think Cade Cunningham should win Most Improved. And I don't really think it's super close, but I understand the argument for Dyson Daniels. And the fact is, he's actually the odds-on favorite on the list that I looked. I personally feel like Cade Cunningham is the most improved player. But I feel bad for Dyson Daniels because Dyson Daniels is having such an incredible season. And if it was 2 months ago, right after Victor, got hurt, I made a video and I said, I think Dyson Daniels should win Defensive Player of the Year at that point because he was having an incredible defensive season. And the thing is, I said in that video, I don't think he was going to win the award, but I felt like at that point I would have voted for him. We'll talk about Draymond Green in a second, so I'll give you a whole synopsis there, but I really thought Dyson Daniels at that point should win the award. So that's why I feel bad, because I don't think he should win Defensive Player of the Year anymore. My opinion is allowed to change. Not that he's also not a candidate. He definitely is a candidate, but he has cooled off a bit since then, and other candidates have heated up. And so he might win this award, and I would be so happy for him because I do think he deserves some kind of award some way. I just feel like his season shouldn't go unnoticed, but I do think Cade should win this award. So I'm kind of advocating for him to not win any awards in a way, but I also really do want his season to be recognized because he's doing so many really good things. And now let's talk about Defensive Player of the Year. Now, Defensive Player of the Year has also been a little bit of a roller coaster ride in terms of the top candidate. When the season first started out, maybe 15 games in, it was pretty early on, I was saying Draymond Green was the clear front runner for Defensive Player of the Year, and I didn't think it was really close. I said it was Draymond Green, and whoever is second. Then as the season went on, although the Warriors were still like a top 10 defensive team, the team was struggling, and if your team is struggling, you're not going to win Defensive Player of the Year, most likely. And so Victor Wembanyama was having an incredible defensive season, and rightfully so. He was the odds-on favorite to win. And then he got hurt. So this is going back to what I was talking about with Dyson Daniels. I said I would come back to this. So he gets hurt. So then I go to look and see who is the top candidates right now for Defensive Player of the Year. And I looked at the list, and back to what I just said earlier, it was Evan Mobley, it was Dyson Daniels, I believe Shea was on the list, and Jalen Williams, because OKC has, I think they still do, but like they had the #1 defense in the league at that point. And at that time, Dyson Daniels was like crazy on defense. He still is, obviously, but like he was so hot on defense. I was like, I really feel like he should win the award. So how does Draymond Green come into play? Well, if you go back and watch that video, I literally said, I looked at the list and I was like, you know who wasn't on the list that I can't believe wasn't on the list? Draymond Green. Like I said, things have changed. Things had changed at that point. So I was like, okay, I think Dyson Daniels should win the award. This is back in February. But I literally said in the video, I don't understand how Draymond is not like a top 5 candidate. That makes zero sense to me. Even if the Warriors, are kind of struggling, his defense is insane this year. So we fast forward, they get Jimmy. They're playing crazy well, offensively and defensively. And Draymond Green has made his case clear that he is the front runner for the award again. So I do think he's going to win the award. I think he's the clear favorite for it again. And it's kind of like a full circle because I thought he was the clear favorite early on this season and then a top 5 candidate throughout the season, but now he's back to #1 in my opinion. I do think he's going to win the award, and shout out to him. I saw a stat that said if he wins, he will be the oldest player in NBA history to win the Defensive Player of the Year award. So that's actually something. And Coach of the Year, I personally think it should just go to Kenny Atkinson. I know there are clearly arguments that can be made for, JJ Redick because of how well the Lakers have played. And obviously, OKC, Mark Daigneault can have a, argument because look at what OKC has done. Ime Udoka, Rockets are second in the West. Nobody really expected that. So I personally do still think it should go to Kenny Atkinson with the Cleveland Cavaliers. But if I were to pick a second option, I would say Ime Udoka, just because look what the Rockets are doing. And again, nobody really expected that. I expected them to potentially be like the 7th or 8th seed, something like that. When I made my NBA standing predictions, just going all the way back, I had the Rockets either 7th or 8th when I made the list. But the West is so loaded, and I'm like, this is tough. I was like, it's either the Spurs or the Rockets. I had to cut one of them, and I was like, I'll put my faith in Victor Wembanyama. But I even said in that video, I was like, it just feels so wrong to leave the Rockets off this list because I really thought they were going to be like a 7th or 8th seed, but there's only so many spots. So even if I had put them as the 7th seed, they still blew me out of the water. So I definitely would be on board with Ime Udoka winning the award, but I do think it should go to Kenny Atkinson.